Hello everyone, welcome to the Bible classroom. I'm Miss Kathy. I'm glad you're here. Would you like to help me feed Fred? Hi Fred. Here you go. Our memory verse for today is, choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. Let's say that together. You repeat after me. Choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. I wonder if Sue wants to join us today for our Bible lesson. Let's find out. Sue! Hi, Sue! Sue, would you like to join us for our Bible lesson today? Well, Sue, before we get started, I have some rocks here. There are 12 rocks. Would you like to help me count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in our story today, we're going to hear about 12 rocks that were stacked up to help the people remember something important. In our last Bible class, we learned that God chose Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, where they had been slaves. Joshua was Moses' assistant. In fact, he went with Moses to the mountain to get the 10 Commandment tablets. Let's read about that. So Moses rose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up into the mountain of God. After leaving Egypt, Moses led the Israelites straight toward the promised land, the land that he had promised Abraham to give to his descendants. God told Moses to send 10 spies into the land. Let's read about what God said. Numbers 13:1 says, "The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a chief among them." Well, 8 of those came back and said, "No way we can take over this land. The people are huge and we're like little grasshoppers compared to them." But 2 of the spies, Joshua and Caleb, believed that God would help them. Let's read about that in Numbers 13:30-33. But Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and occupy it, for we are well able to overcome it." Then the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against this people, for they are stronger than we are." So they brought the people of Israel a bad report of the land that they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone to spy out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are of great height. And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim, and we seem to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seem to them." Well, Sue, the people grumbled and complained and even threatened to choose a leader to go back to Egypt. Let's read about that in Numbers 14:6-10. "And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes and said to all the congregation of the people of Israel, 'The land which we passed through to spy out is exceedingly good land. If the Lord delights in us, he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land that flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their protection is removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them.' Then all the congregation said to stone them with stones, but the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of meeting to all the people of Israel." So instead of believing God's promise, they were afraid and would not fight. They wandered in the wilderness 40 years. We learned in our last class that it was during this time that God was teaching them to trust him and showing them that he does what he says. So here they are after 40 years of traveling in the desert, close to the land God had promised to give them. By this time, Moses had died, and God chose Joshua to lead the people. We can read about that in Joshua 1, verses 1 through 3 and 7 through 8. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, into the land that I am giving to them, to the people of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon I have given to you, just as I promised to Moses. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Just as Moses had done before, Joshua sent spies into the land first. He sent 2 spies. The soldiers of the city heard about the spies, and they were looking for them. A woman named Rahab hid them. Let's hear what she said. In Joshua 2, 9 and 11 through 12 and 18, it says, "I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away before you. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and there was no spirit left in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that as I have dealt kindly with you, you also will deal kindly with my father's house. Behold, when we come into this land, you shall tie this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and you shall gather into your house your father and your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household." Well, the spies gave her a scarlet cord to tie in her window, so that when they came back to conquer the city, they would spare her and her family who were inside her house. The spies brought back a report to Joshua that the people of Jericho were afraid of them. The people were now ready to believe God and conquer the land as God had told them. The Israelites started traveling closer to the land. They came to the Jordan River. Let's read about that in Joshua 3, verses 7 through 13. The Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. And as for you, command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, when you come to the brink of the waters of the Jordan, you shall stand still in the Jordan." And Joshua said to the people of Israel, "Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God." And Joshua said, "Here is how you shall know that the living God is among you, and that He will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and of all the earth is passing over before you into the Jordan. Now therefore take 12 men from the tribes of Israel, from each tribe a man. And when the soles of the feet of the priests bearing the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off from flowing, and the waters coming down from above shall stand in one heap." Well, Sue, God caused the water to stop, and the people walked straight through it. This reminds me of the time after they had left Egypt when they crossed the Red Sea, doesn't it? Well, God told them to take 12 big stones from the river and stack them up. Let's read about that in Joshua 4, 6 through 7 and 20 through 24. "When your children ask in time to come, 'What do these stones mean to you?' then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it passed over the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever." And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Joshua set up at Gilgal. And he said to the people of Israel, "When your children ask their fathers in times to come, 'What do these stones mean?' then you shall let your children know, Israel passed over this Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan for you until you passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which He dried up for us until we passed over. so that all the peoples of all the earth may know that the hand of the Lord is mighty, that you may fear the Lord your God forever." Well, now here they are finally at Jericho. Joshua 5:13 through 15 tells us what happens next. "When Joshua was by Jericho, he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man was standing before him with his drawn sword in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, 'Are you for us or are you for our adversaries?' And he said, 'No, but I am the commander of the army of the Lord. Now I have come.' And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and worshipped and said to him, 'What does my Lord say to his servant?' And the commander of the Lord's army said to Joshua, 'Take off your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy.' And Joshua did so." Wow, Sue. God was letting them know for certain that he was with them. He would fight for them. Joshua 6:1 through 5 tells us what happened next. "Now Jericho was shut up inside and outside because of the people of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, 'See, I have given Jericho into your hand, and its kings and mighty men of valor. You shall march around the city, all the men of war going around the city once. Thus you shall do for 6 days. 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram horns before the ark. On the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. And when they make a long blast with the ram's horns, when you hear the sound of the trumpet, then all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city will fall flat down, and the people shall go up, everyone straight before him.'" Well, that's exactly what happened. They marched around the city once for 6 days, and on the 7th day they marched 7 times. And the priests blew the trumpets, and they made that loud blast on the ram's horn, and then they shouted, and the wall just fell down flat. They kept their promise and saved Rahab, who had tied that red cord from her window. Joshua continued to lead the Israelites to drive out most of the inhabitants of the Promised Land. He divided up the land to give to the 12 tribes, Jacob's sons. Before Joshua died, he gave the people a charge. "Be very careful, therefore, to love the Lord your God." Well, Sue, Joshua gave the people a final charge before he died. He reminded them that they needed to love the Lord their God and serve him. Thank you for joining us today for the Bible class. We'll see you next time. Remember, Jesus loves you. Goodbye.